Welcome to the attic. So this is your first time into the attic.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me how old you are?
Do I have to tell you my real age?
Yeah.
I'm 35.
35. So, what's your shoe size?
6.5.
That's nice. Nice and small. What about your measurements?
I know I'm a 34C. The rest of it I'm not really sure of.
Well, what size pants are you wearing right now?
I don't know.
Because we're going to need to know that.
I couldn't tell you.
We're going to measure that.
All right.
Before you leave up out of here today.
Okay.
How tall are you?
5'4".
What's your weight?
135.
First time you ever had sex, what age?
14.
Tell me about it.
It was a week after my 14th birthday. It was in my best friend's bed. And it was a one-night stand with a guy who was 16 years old. It was his first time too. And I apparently couldn't wait for it. I was very into it, and we kept experimenting with different positions and doing different things, and it was kind of like, let's try it this way, let's try it this way, how's that, how's that? So it was really fun. Except that my best friend walked in on us.
So you got caught?
We got caught, and she was kind of pissed.
Really?
Yeah.
Was she the same age?
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't like you having sex in her bed?
No, not so much.
I can't imagine that. So, did you give him a blowjob?
God, I don't remember.
Well, tell me about the first time you remember sucking a cock.
That would have been before I was 14, probably 13. I grew up 20 minutes outside of New York, and apparently we move a lot faster than kids out here. But I remember really...
I've heard that.
Yeah. I remember really enjoying it. I remember really wanting to please, I don't even remember who it would have been, to please the guy. And yeah, I was really into it.
Are you going to be willing to please us today?
Sure.
We have a big fucking black cock called Luther.
Bring it on.
Do you think he can get 4 inches down your throat?
Hell yeah.
Alright, well, we're going to hold you to that. Alright, so, do you masturbate?
Yes.
Tell me about it. What do you think about it?
Gosh, I guess it changes. If I've met a cute guy, I'll picture him, or... yeah. I just think about different people I've seen, or different scenarios in my head of what might happen, or things like that. It's pretty standard.
Yeah, what are you doing to yourself? What are you thinking about that?
Rub my clit, maybe sometimes use a dildo.
You got a vibrator at home?
I do. I have 2 different vibrators.
Tell me about them.
Well, one of them has the little rabbit ear thingies attachment,
yeah,
and then one of them's like a little dolphin attachment. And
which one's better?
I like the one with the little rabbit ears better because the one with the dolphin has like these rotating beads inside of it halfway down the shaft, and that kind of irritates me, so...
I've got one too.
Gotcha, of course you do.
Yeah, it's very irritating. Haven't pulled it out in years. So, bondage. You know what we do here?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, I know that you tie people up, you do suspensions. I've seen pictures of the cage outside. I've just seen lots of pictures.
Anything about that bothers you?
No.
Anything about it that's intriguing?
All of it.
So how long have you been under the guise of bondage? How long have you known that you've liked this sort of thing?
Probably since I was about 17.
17. And what was the epiphany there?
I had been reading about it. I read the story of O, and I met this guy who was also into it, and we started playing around, and we got pretty heavily into it, and it just really blew my mind, and it was just awesome. And
would he tie you up in some fashion and fucked you?
Yeah, he would do that. We were also into blood sports a little bit. Like, I'm sure later on you'll see my labia is pierced on either side, and he did one piercing and I did the other one. And he would tie me up to the ceiling, and I remember, this is kind of hardcore, and it's not something that I would do now necessarily, but he had me blindfolded and tied up like this to a ring in the ceiling, and he was painting on me with something, And he walked out of the room, and he had, I'll never forget this, he had like a sliding doors with mirrors, and I sort of peeked under the blindfold, and he had painted on me in his own blood, which was pretty intense. Yeah.
Memorable, huh?
Very memorable, yeah.
So, is there any particular thing about bondage that's, you know, you like more than, do you like to be in a hog tie, you like your elbows together, you like to be what?
I just like the feeling that somebody is taking control and I'm completely immobilized. And it doesn't matter anymore what I want. I'm just going to go through whatever is happening. And I just like the feeling of relinquishing control.
Relinquishing control. So you mentioned something also about deprivation. What about that?
Well, I know that I really like to be blindfolded and not knowing what's going on so much. And I guess I would really like to take that a step further.
Okay. So, is there anything in particular that you just would not do today? Ass hook or what?
Well, I know that it's not that I think it's wrong or anything. It's just that I don't think I'm really built for
an ass hook.
Yeah, for anal sex. I've tried it with most every boyfriend I've had, and it just hurts. And I mean, they take their time and everything and use lots of lube, and it's just never worked for me. I mean, I'm willing to try anything. But
well, maybe they didn't have an ass hook like ours.
Could be, could be.
All right, Elizabeth, you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.